she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion.
Hey guys, it's Asher coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you're going through something and you need them out there today. Hey, I just started watching The Night Manager on Amazon Prime. I would give it some a high recommendation so far. I'm like 5 episodes in.
I spent years creating you anew. It's time you get back in the field.
But it's kind of an older show, but I think they're bringing it back soon, is from what I hear. So I dig it. If you want any TV recommendations out there, and hey, feel free to give them back to me as well in the comments below. I haven't given Stranger Things a try. I know that Cruisen recommended that the last time that we did a collab, recommended that I really dive into Stranger Things. And I asked if it was appropriate for my 8-year-old, and you guys overwhelmingly let me know that it is not appropriate. So I appreciate the heads up on that too. But I'm thinking about giving it a try. Everybody talks about it. You know how it is. Anyway, today we're talking about 12 legendary champions that you don't have to build super fast to absolutely decimate, devastate, and all the other D words. Destroy your opponents in the arena. These are nice because these can be little cheat code champions that you can build in unorthodox ways. Obviously, you can build them to be powerhouses in terms of nukers because they don't require speed. Thus, you can throw attack percentage, HP percentage, or defense percentage potentially on their boots. That way, they can just hit harder, right? Because again, they don't necessarily need to take a turn to kill the enemies. So it's nice to have even one, or even you can try an unorthodox team building like 2 of these champions into your team and just sit back, relax, and wait for your opponents to go first, but you'll still win at the end of the day. So these are all damage dealers as well, okay? So here we go, guys. I've got 12, but I know I'm forgetting a few. So feel free to let me know who I snubbed, and let me know if you use any of these champions as well. Let's start with Cavalax. He's a beast in the arena with the Arakan Elixir. Arakan Elixir, it changed the game. It's really cool how one thing, right? Arakan Elixir, a relic, a rare relic at that, can really change the meta. I love it. And Cavalax certainly benefited from that Arakan Elixir in a big, big way. He places 4 poisons on all enemies at the start of each round. But these poisons with the Arakan Elixir doing extra damage based on his attack. His attack is 1663, by the way. Man, he can kill them when they take a turn. They just go to take a turn. He doesn't even need to do anything. He just sits there, right? So Cavalax is an absolute beast, but he's the type of champion that you use when you know your opponent has some unguarded champions, meaning no stone skin, right? Basically. Meaning, Siphi, we look out for like either super fast champions or champions that we know are usually built in 9-piece protection. So like a Siphi, for example, she's almost always built in 9-piece protection, especially in endgame meta. Cavalax gets played against me a lot when I run like a Lazarius. When the opponent gets the sense that I'm running all out speed, they'll just drop a Cavalax knowing I'm not going to have a lot of stone skin. Now that being said, unlike burners, we don't want to be playing Cavalax into stone skin teams because it will be negated, the poisons from his passive. So that is Cavalax. 4 poisons at the start of each round. Yeah, that's pretty damn fun. We're here in Nice Revenant anyway. Let's talk about the old school Hegimon. Kind of the same as of Cavalax, meaning you don't want to use Hegimon against stone skin teams unless you have god tier stone cleaver gear with cracking roots as a blessing. By the way, cracking roots, if you have it, like this requires a lot of awakenings and whatnot, but if you have it, Hegimon is a huge threat and it gets banned a lot. Even though he's not like, the highest in the meta that he's ever been, still gets banned a lot because sometimes you just don't have a response in live arena to a champion like Hegimon. Either in cracking roots, in stone cleaver, or just as a great threat who you can build super, super slow, an attack percentage on his boots, and just crank up that crit damage and that attack, and he always goes first. He's going to go in and boom, crippling cold, attacks all enemies, maybe even block active skills as well. You get a 50-50 chance there. So Hegimon is an obvious secondary choice. Let's talk about a newer champion, and that is this dude over here, Gaspard the Accused. It's a very interesting champion. He's almost 1,600 base defense, this guy. I really like him. Now, I don't have him awakened at all on my account. I certainly don't have him empowered. He just entered the game a couple months ago. But I think that once I get a little bit more oomph, a little bit more power behind him, I'm really going to like this guy. I already do like him, but he just doesn't hit like as hard as I'd like. But anyway, the reason he's in this video is because the use stand accused skill. This is his A3. It's a 3-turn cooldown normally, right? But it ignores Poison Cloud, Life Barrier, Shield, and block damage, which is everything in this meta, right? If the target's killed by this skill, revives a random dead ally, and then that revive will ignore block revive debuffs. I think it's still him and Lydia that have that ability, right? He also places a block revive, so it's a block revive move. So it's a really, really strong ability. But check this out. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates the You Stand Accused, and it will not put it on cooldown, okay? He also has a 50% chance of activating the You Stand Accused on an enemy whenever an ally is revived. Also on Hydra heads, so he's a really good Hydra provoker because he has an AoE provoke on his A2 as well. So basically, you can just sit back. You still want to build him with some speed, of course, but you can just sit back, build him with, again, defensive percentage on your boots if you want to. Just load up a stone skin on him and just wait for your enemy team to revive somebody, right? And the same thing on your team. So yeah, you don't want to build him with no speed, not like a UDK 0 speed, but build him slow and just wait for someone to be revived on a tanky kind of go second team in Gaspard the Accused. This guy, he is such a threat. He is so annoying, and he can smack. And it's Arnorn the Shining.
I'm intrigued.
Oh my God, guys. This dude is absolutely nuts. And he's nuts without even doing anything in the spirit of this video, of course, right? Prevents his champion's death and keeps him alive with 1 HP when hit by a fatal hit. Places stone skin on him for 1 turn, then instantly activates the wrath of his A3, okay? What is that? Rothgleim? This will not place that on cooldown, okay? Increases champion's attack by 5% for each active buff on the enemy team, up to 100%. And this Wrath, it's an AoE attack, will ignore increased defense, strengthen, as well as shields. If it kills 1 enemy, decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 50%, and that can't be resisted. Yeah, trust me, it hits hard enough to kill hopefully at least somebody so you get that great turn meter control. All he has to do is sit there and wait for him to potentially die. Stone Skin, boom, AoE, boom. Arnorn the Shining, what else do you want from me? This guy's incredible. He's incredible. Let's kick it old school. We kicked it new school on a couple champions. Let's kick it old school. In good old Mortu-Macaab. Where are you? Right in front of my face? Golly, am I this blind? Apparently I am. Literally right in the middle. Mortu-Macaab, of course he's going to be on the frickin' list, guys. Mortu-Macaab with his peril ability is still such a menace in the arena, right? You always got to take him seriously. You always got to treat him as a legitimate threat on the battlefield. He's got peril. It's a 2-time hitter. Ignores shield and block damage, as well as death, aka 100% defense, okay? And that means he doesn't need lethal. He doesn't need savage gear. He doesn't need merciless gear. You can just build him in 2-piece stone skin, build him pretty slow, because on this passive, he has a 20% chance to unlock that peril when he's attacked, but he has also a 20% chance to fill this champion's turn meter when he's attacked by 25%. So he gets the turn meter fill and the peril unlock with his passive. All he's got to do is just sit there and wait for somebody to hit him with an AoE attack, and then boom, delete button. Mortu-Macaab, right? Don't have to build him fast. This is nice because, again, I mean, these are the type of champions that you want to use if you don't have the best speed gear. And sometimes I'll go against somebody in the arena, and I think that, you know, in live arena, and I think that sometimes they'll think, oh, he's definitely going to go first, you know, when I draft, you know, what a fully empowered, intimidating presence, fully awakened, whatever, Lazarius or something. But guess what, guys? We get another peril. Boom! Sayonara, Odin! Bye-bye, buddy! I've been beaten by a bunch of these champions before. You just gotta zig when I zag, or vice versa. Same thing when I go against, like, Crypto or whatever, right? I gotta think of unorthodox strategies and champions to employ on my side of the arena as well. Let's talk about probably another obvious one here. Another new addition to the game is Leo. Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. He does machines. We used to do machines in the 80s. We just do them. We do them. Anyway, Leonardo. Out of all the champions on the list, Leo is maybe a little bit of the exception because he's not instantly activating the A3 ability unless you have all the turtles together. But Leo is so freaking good that I feel like he's gotta be on this damn list. And a lot of players run the turtles together. Either way, even if he's all by himself or just with Donnie or something, people use Leo in the arena at least, either with Donatello or with all the turtles usually, right? But even with just Donnie, Stone Skin on this champion for 1 turn, each time his enemy drops his HP below 50%. I mean, super freaking powerful. He's just alive with Stone Skin, right? Then you can come in with counterattack, unkillable. Obviously, counterattack is gonna, move at the speed of anybody who hits him with his really hard-hitting A1 ability as well. But again, if you do have all the turtles together, well, hell, you just build them there, you sit there, wait for somebody to do the damage, and you all know what happens next. He deletes the entire enemy team. We've all been on both sides of the Leo. Well, I shouldn't say that. Was so mean for those who didn't get Leo. My bad. But a lot of us have been on the receiving end of a Leonardo, let's put it that way, when he wipes your entire team with a hero and a half shell and the instant activation of this A3. It's insane because the A3 smacks and the damage inflicted by the skill is increased by 5% for each buff on all allies and enemies. Ooh, it's nasty. It's nasty. All right, let's go with my favorite nuker in the game, albeit a single target nuker, and that is Rotos the Lost Groom. Yeah, Rotos is still insanely good in this game. He's still a beast. And the cool thing about Rotos is, again, you don't want to build him with no speed. Forgive the double negative. You don't want to build him like a UDK style. But the thing about Rotos is, especially if you can upgrade whatever set you're rocking on your Rotos, right? So usually you're going to be running HP accessories, Ward of the Fallen, right, on the Blessing. And this guy's so hard to kill because you got a double or maybe even triple hit depending on the build that you have on him, Ward of the Fallen. But the cool thing about his passive is, of course, grants an extra turn when the damage reduction occurs. So the damage reduction occurs when the incoming damage will exceed 50% of this champion's max HP. So what you can do with Rotos is just wait till he gets a big hit coming his way. He's not going to die, right? And then you're going to get the instant turn, right? So I get a lot of instant turns with my Rotos. He also has built-in chances to get extra turns. He has the kill extra turn on the Faded Destruction, which you're always killing somebody anyway. So between the instant turn on his passive, between the extra turn off of the A3 ability, and then between the extra turn chance on his A1, plus if you have him Merciless gear, my man's getting a lot of turns without needing speed necessarily. So I think that Rotos, ideally we'd have him pretty fast anyway. But I tend to build him in Merciless 9-piece. But when I make that change on my account, I do have to sacrifice a lot of speed. So Rotos on my account is more towards like the 240 speed, whereas most of my other nukers are well over 300. But I can get by with it because of all those instant turn capabilities and extra turn capabilities on Rotos. Hey, we're here. Let's talk about Hephraak. Listen. He's not as strong as some of the other nukers in terms of just his raw, sheer damage, but he's pretty fun, and he's strong. You could do some nasty things with him, combo him with somebody squishy like a Sun Wukong who's going to come back to life anyway, right? I really like him because basically he attacks all enemies with this hard-hitting Hephraak Scorn, but that was going to happen instantly without putting it on cooldown, this A3 ability, whenever anybody dies on your team. So you can build him with Stone Skin a little bit on the slower side. That way you give time for somebody else to die on your team. And then, boom, Hephraak Scorn. He goes right in with that AoE on the A2, hopefully killing him as well. I just mentioned him. I didn't have him officially on this list, and I like building him fast, even though he comes back with 100% turn meter when he dies. So I guess technically you could throw a Sun Wukong on there as well, on the list as well. But you know who I do have on the list, guys? I have Falmond Mournsword. He's a Unity, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about a champion that likely a lot of you guys don't have. However, I will be real with you guys. I have Falmond Mournsword, and I hate to say it, but he's not one of the strongest Unities out there in the game. That being said, I think that every Unity can be strong in the right situations, given everything extra that they do have. But man, I find him a little underwhelming. But one thing that is cool about this champion is he has all these, well, let's read them together, right? The damage inflicted by this skill increased by 20% for each turn taken by an ally or an enemy before this champion's next turn. What? Decrease the damage taken from hits by this champion by 10% for each turn taken by an ally or enemy during this champion's next turn. So basically, he's getting more powerful and stronger in terms of tankier for every turn that happens before his turn. So if 10 turns go by, before he takes a turn, he's going to get 100% damage reduction. He's not going to take any damage. So same thing on his nuke, right? So this is a champion, absolutely, you can get by if you have the 2 faction allies on the team, right? You can get by with more damage. At the very least, you can get by with more survivability just on building him slow. And let me tell you, get those turns to stack up. That can be 100, 200% extra damage from the Burning Courage. It can add up in a big, meaningful way. So at the very least, you want to build him with attack percentage on his boots and on the slower side with Stone Skin. All right, let's go after, I mean, maybe this is a little bit of a conditional one, but I feel like I got to give a little love to Taurus if Marichka's on the same team, right? Super tanky, tough to get rid of, tough to contend with. But man, when Marichka's attacked, he's going to go right in with the hero intersection anyway. 2 turn stun, or most cases, just bye-bye. You're dead, right? So I don't know if he's officially going to make the list or not, but Taurus with Marichka, I mean, you're going to be good to go. Same thing, I guess. We'll call it a tie, an honorable mention tie, the couple tie. It's Noel now and Sir Nick. Sir Nick, you can get by with HP percentage on those boots because all you got to do is use Noel's A2. Boom, you're going to instantly activate with Noel his A3, which is going to now put a taunt and a counterattack on my man. He's going to freeze everybody with his A1. That's going to be 100% unblockable, unresistible freeze. And you can build him slow. That way he's doing more damage too. So when Sir Nick is on the same team as Lady Noel, you're given that option of building Noel rather fast, opening up with that A2, and boom, instantly activating the survivability. And then he's going to have the counterattack and the taunt, leading to more freezes. So that's a really fun combo as well. Let's talk about 2 more, guys. Obviously, freaking Vulcanos. I didn't forget Vulcanos. Vulcanos just got to sit there, and that's it. He literally doesn't even need to take a turn at all. Most of the other champions, well, there's been some exceptions, but most of them eventually have to take a turn. Not Vulcanos. He just sits there and boom. 70% chance to place a burn whenever an enemy receives a buff or has their turn meter increased. He's just going to place a burn. But if they already have a burn, he's just going to activate that burn. So Vulcanos just chills there. And by the way, one ally. This is why it's so important to run Vulcanos if you're lucky enough to have them with a Carnage or a Comitus or a Duchess, right? He's going to activate those and they can't be resisted or blocked on one faction ally. That's really important to add. There's one left on the list, guys. It's actually, I really love this dude. Hopefully some of you guys do as well. It's Alil. Alil's really, really cool, man. He can steal all buffs, can't be resisted the first time he hits an enemy with his A1. Really nasty. He has an Ignore Stone Skin ability. It's not the hardest hitting Ignore Stone Skin, but it hits hard enough in most situations. And then he has the AoE on the A3, which is, you know, decently hard hitting and pretty cool that it removes negative and adds, removes positive and adds negative buffs. But the thing that's really cool about Alil is, even though 1630 base attack, but he doesn't nuke. He's not like a Georgid or Oyasu, right? With that massive, massive nuke, or even a Mezimel. But you can make up for it easily with Alil because you can build him to hit like a freaking Mack truck because of his passive. Increases champion survivability, which is nice for every 1,000 attack, but fills his champion's turn meter by 10% whenever they receive a buff. I mean, you can build him nice and slow. Put attack percentage on his boots, right? If you have Necrot the Great, fantastic. You can just add a few buffers on the team before him. It counts all buffs, right? So he's going to get a jacked up turn meter just by getting set up by the team, just by receiving buffs from your allies. So build him nice and slow, high crit damage, high, obviously crit capped, high attack, and he's going to be a delete button for your team, and he's going to go way faster than you think he's going to go because he just keeps churning that turn meter like nothing every time he gets a buff in this game. So there it is, guys. That's what, 11, 12, 13, 15, I don't know. A bunch of champions you don't need to build fast to dominate in the arena. Hey, guys, thanks for watching till the end of the video. Here's a 2-hour-long video where I go over my top 5 picks for every legendary champion in all of Raid Shadow Legends here at the end of 2025. Thanks for watching. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.